as soon as you're up and live, you're welcome to just hit the ground running.
Yep, we are live. So I am going to head over to our calendar and at least pull up Taylor, do you have the updated, do you have those links that I sent you handy? Because I don't see them in the, oh, case text. There we go. Cool. Okay, found it. Never mind. All right, so there's two pieces, and I don't see one of them in the calendar event. We'll start with the Blue Cross Blue Shield piece. So I'm going to hopefully share this screen. Tyler, you may have to give me permission. You do. Let me do that.
I think it's me that has to give you permission.
Oh, Serena has permissions now. Yep.
Which is unfortunate because I don't know how to give that permission.
If you click my name
Yes.
on mobile, I'm not entirely sure. So
yeah, that's. Let's see. Stop video chat, spotlight, make host, rename, allow to record, allow to multi-pin.
I don't know. Okay, well, if you guys don't mind listening to me, I can just share it to the live streams and you guys can just listen along or click the link that's in the event description. That'll pull up the actual case that we're talking about. If you all have access to that. I'm not sure. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share this screen. And if anybody's watching on TikTok, please head over to one of the other platforms mentioned in the sidebar and check out on Twitch, Facebook, or YouTube because I can't share my screen to TikTok. So somebody brought to my attention that the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama is not recognized as an insurance company in our state, which intrigued me to say the least, to know that a company that operates as an insurance company has not been recognized as an insurance company for quite some time. So I wanted to read through this with some other people and see what everybody else thinks. And I think we'll start with kind of the overview piece. Reading case law is not my specialty, which the legal team could be here, but schedules don't always permit. So we're just going to start with the overview. This is specifically Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama versus Nielsen, and this is from 1997. Let's see. We will head. All right, Carnes Circuit Judge. This appeal concerns the proper construction and application of 3 Alabama acts governing the relationship between insurers and healthcare providers of the state. The disposition of this appeal depends upon the resolution of these issues. Is Blue Cross Blue Shield exempt from the application of the 3 Alabama acts by terms of previously enacted Alabama statutes? 2, if Blue Cross is exempt from the application of these 3 acts due to the terms of those previous act statutes, are those exempting statutes violative of the Alabama Constitution? Violative? I don't think I'm saying that word right. 3, are those 3 acts preempted by the Employee Retirement Income Security Act, ERISA, insofar as they relate to...
Like violation?
Violative? Is that how you say that? Yeah. God, that doesn't look right. Okay. That's what happens when I live stream and try to read.
Do they violate?
Yeah. Are they violative? I guess that's the way that is said. My apologies, everybody.
That's my guess. It's not corrected.
Hey.
I don't actually know either. I'm just sort
Yep,
of...
this is not scripted. Although the third issue involves a question of federal law, its existence in and relevance to this case is entirely dependent on the answers to the first 2 issues, each of which involve only questions of state law. Not only is this case fraught with unsettled issues of Alabama law, but the decision of those state law issues will affect the insurance rights of more than half of Alabama's population. For these reasons, we conclude that it is imperative for us to certify the Alabama law issues to the highest court of the state, and thereby provide with an opportunity to authoritatively decide upon state law. I'm not sure we're going to be able to get through all of this, but we're going to try and skim through and get an idea of what's happening. So there's a next section is background and facts. So Blue Cross is a not-for-profit corporation organized and existing under Alabama Code sections 10-4-100 to 115. So that's 10-4-100 to 10-4-115 for the purposes of providing healthcare service plans to subscribers. It furnishes health benefits to approximately 2.2 million people in Alabama, which is more than half of the state's population. Again, this is in 1997. I don't know the current numbers offhand. Section 10-4-100 of the Alabama Code provides that any non-stock corporation organized not for profit for the purpose of establishing, maintaining, and operating a healthcare service plan under which health services are furnished to such of the public who become subscribers to such plan pursuant to contracts are authorized and shall be governed by provisions of this article. Okay. Blue Cross informed the court of this fact. That's a footnote. Sorry. Let's see. The fact in question is the 2.2 million. Blue Cross informed the state that they were providing services to 2.2 million people. And there's a census footnote about how many people were in the state by the U.S. Census in 1996, which was 4.2 billion people. So that's where they got about half a million people, or half the population. In order to contain or reduce the cost of providing healthcare benefits to subscribers, Blue Cross enters its contracts with various healthcare providers. Providers that have contracts with Blue Cross are known as network providers. Network providers usually agree to perform services for Blue Cross subscribers at discounted rates, and they agree to submit to Blue Cross's quality review, dispute resolution, and cost containment procedures. In its health plans, Blue Cross reserves the right to not honor assignments of benefits. It also reserves the right to choose to pay either the provider or the subscriber when a subscriber receives medical services from a non-network provider. However, if a claim is received from a network provider for services to a subscriber who has network benefits, Blue Cross will pay benefits directly to that network provider. Blue Cross guarantees that network providers will be paid for their services within a specified period of time. No such guarantees are made for other providers. So that all so far has made sense to me. If you have questions, please raise your hand. And Serena, I give you permission to interrupt me because I'm not looking at Zoom to know I need to be interrupted. The Alabama legislature has forbidden many of the managed care, that's in quotes, practices that Blue Cross employs, at least when they are utilized by other insurance companies. For instance, in 1984, the legislature enacted a Dental Care Services Act. Act 411, it looks like. That act prohibits healthcare plans and health insurance policies from denying any dentist's request to become a network provider as long as the dentist is practicing within the scope of his or her license. The Dental Care Act also prohibits a health plan from limiting the patient's selection of a dentist and from reviewing the necessity or quality of any service performed by a dentist. It declares void all terms of plans inconsistent with the act and criminalizes willful violations of it. I'm not fully grasping everything that was said there. Does anybody have a better way to summarize kind of what that just said in layman's terms? Because
that sure sounds like it said that if a dentist wants to become someone who accepts Blue Cross Blue Shield insurance, that they cannot be turned down from doing so unless they are operating outside the scope of their licensing.
Okay, so the second half of that is kind of where I got lost, but so general consensus is a provider can apply to be in network if they want to, and you can't deny them unless they're not performing quality work or going outside their license. So right. Cool. That works for me. The Pharmaceutical Insurance Coverage Act, the Pharmacy Act, enacted in 1988, prohibits health plans from denying a pharmacist's request to become a provider provider member of the health plan, so long as the pharmacist is properly licensed. Similar situation. It also prohibits health plans from limiting a patient's selection of a pharmacist. Okay, that's straightforward. The Assignment Act, enacted in 1994, requires all entities providing health insurance or health benefit plans to reimburse within a specified period of time all healthcare providers for their performance of covered services. The Assignment Act also requires insurers and other entities providing healthcare plans to honor all assignments of benefits, notwithstanding any terms of the insurance or health plans to the contrary. Yeah, okay. So if their health plan literally says they can't, then they don't. But everything else they have to honor. Got it. Health plan providers, or sorry, healthcare providers as assignees are provided a right to sue to collect assigned payment. We will refer to the Dental Act, the Pharmacy Act, and the Assignment Act collectively as the Alabama Provider Acts. So they're just giving a blanket statement to refer to all acts previously mentioned. That's fine. Procedural history, I'm not sure how relevant this is. Does anybody have any direct understanding of case study and case law? Because I know our law team isn't. I don't think we have anybody from the law team present. I'll take that as a no. Cool. Okay, I'm going to keep going then. It's fine. No, I want to make sure if somebody does. I want them to give me an idea of if I can skip certain sections.
Yeah, of course.
Let's see. And state statutory construction and interpretation of issues. Let's see. I'm trying to see if we can skim through and find kind of, usually at the top of cases is kind of like the synopsis piece, but we're not getting that at the very beginning. So I'm trying to find if we can find some kind of summary of what actually happened. Let's see. And if you're watching this on Twitch, I'm super sorry that I'm scrolling through back and forth through a case law, trying to find what I'm looking for, because this is not making sense to me. All right, let's see. Yeah, I'm jumping through. So the link that I was given is kind of like the initial case presentation. It doesn't necessarily give the ending, like the ending case. Oh, summaries. There's a whole tab for summaries. All right. Cool. We're gonna jump to summaries. Let's see. Let's see. No, that's summaries of like cited cases. So that's not what we were looking for anyway. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing. This actually doesn't look like it's as pertinent to like what I was hoping it would be. Like it's a bunch of questions, but it's not like I'm not seeing a final decision at this link at least. So if we look for a different, I guess, the resolution of this case, Ray on TikTok, I see you. You've got the name right. You're good. I won't be able to interact a ton on TikTok, so head to one of the other platforms if you want to interact. Let's see. So we're gonna say this is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama versus Nielsen. Decision is probably the word we're looking for. Let's see. Justice law. And I really wish that I could show you guys, you all, what I'm looking at. But I am not seeing a. Oh, nope. Okay. So unless something has changed, oh man, of course this was 30 years ago. So we're gonna caveat that here, but there is there's an opinion page that isn't what we were looking at earlier. And I don't know why I got a different link from somebody else, but at the very end of this, in this appeal from the district courts order granting summary judgment and declaratory relief in favor of Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama, we previously certified to the Supreme Court of Alabama questions of state law upon which this case turns. See the thing that we were looking at earlier. We are grateful for that court's thorough and dispositive answers to those controlling questions. And then they have a reference for that. And by answering the first certified question in the affirmative and the second in the negative, the Alabama Supreme Court's decision authoritatively establishes that Blue Cross is exempt from the Alabama Providers Acts. Yep. So the three acts we talked about earlier, which in turn dictates that we affirm the district court's declaratory judgment to that effect. Because the Alabama Provider Acts do not apply to Blue Cross, we need not and do not decide whether they would be preempted by ERISA, which we talked about earlier. I don't remember what it stands for offhand, stating that if the Alabama Supreme Court determines that Blue Cross is exempt, then preemption issue is moot. However, the district court did reach the preemption issue, holding in the alternative that if the Provider Acts apply to Blue Cross, they are preempted by ERISA, but they don't apply. So we're just going to keep moving. The providers who are appellants before us have asked us to vacate the preemption part of the district court's decision. Their concern is that if the preemption part of the district court's decision is left standing, insurance companies to whom the Alabama Provider Acts do apply may attempt to use that holding against them in some future litigation. They say it would be unfair to leave them exposed to that possibility since resolution of the state law issues mooted their appeal of the preempted issue in this case, thereby depriving them of the opportunity to have an appellate review of it. Their concerns seem reasonable to us. In the United States, there's a reference to a Supreme Court case, so we're going to keep moving. So at the very end, we affirm the district court's judgment insofar as it declares that the Alabama Provider Acts are not applicable to Blue Cross, and we vacate that part of this judgment, declaring that if those acts did apply, they would be preempted by ERISA. So we're going to look up ERISA again because I don't recall what it stands for. So the Employee Retirement Income Security Act, which relates to federal United States tax and labor law that establishes minimum standards for pension plans in the private industry. Okay, so preempted, because I don't want to be mistaken on what they mean here. So that's, I'm trying to make sure we're not wrong here. To acquire, appropriate before someone else, or take for oneself, or political issue preempted by the opposition party to take place of because of priorities, reconsideration, rescheduling, or supplant. So they're I don't follow. I'm not sure I follow the actual decision. So does anybody else? They're basically saying that the concern is whether or not Blue Cross, as a healthcare provider, would be held accountable or held to the standards set in ERISA, the Employee Retirement Income Security Act, is what I'm hearing. And the final decision basically says the acts don't apply to Blue Cross, and they are the state Supreme Court is declaring that if those acts didn't apply, then neither should ERISA. That's what it sounds like to me.
would have been the way I interpreted it as well.
Okay.
I was struggling, but that's how it reads to me too.
Okay. So, and that's, I think that's why, that's not the reason this was sent to me, but it is an interesting side discussion that Blue Cross Blue Shield, at least as of 1996, doesn't meet the standards to be considered a healthcare not provider. What is the phrasing that they actually use, so I don't misquote what we're talking about. Trying to remember the exact phrase that they were using for it, if nobody else remembers. It's essentially an insurance company, but it's they have a different word for it. Yep, I don't remember the word for it, but essentially they're not considered a healthcare healthcare insurance company in our state as of 96 or 97.
And what do they exist for?
Well, basically just means they aren't held. They don't officially qualify. They can still offer the services, and this is Jared, layman, reading and trying to interpret case law at this point. But it sounds like they're still providing the services, but they don't have to be held accountable to the same standards because they don't qualify. Is what I'm.
Why is that allowed?
It's a really good question. I don't have an answer for you. That
I just was bringing it up as like a thing that we need to understand, because it doesn't seem like something that should be allowed. Like, that doesn't benefit our citizens. And while, when Jasmine gets into office, we're talking about universal healthcare, right? So maybe it won't be directly as big of an issue there, but loopholes like these, watching these major for-profit companies find them and exploit them, and then the laws get twisted and rewritten to back them up, is a huge concern, obviously, for a million reasons.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm sorry. We have
we had a comment in.
That seems like something to look into.
Yeah. And somehow my text size is giant inside of Zoom. So
Same.
So that's not just you.
No, it's just huge.
Okay.
It means the closed captioning, right?
No, I mean my chat. Like, literally, Tyler's message is one letter at a time, vertical.
No, that is just you, then, I think, because it does not do that on mine.
That is super strange. So whoever's watching this on Twitch and Facebook, Robbie, I saw you. T-Town Hottie, hi. I effectively have a link tree. It's just a bunch of links on my page. So I'm not sure if that's somebody from the party trolling me because of what I've said about Linktree in the past, or if that's actually somebody saying I need to get Linktree, because that's it.
We have Kira with their hand up. Kira?
Yep.
Captions aren't working. They were working and now they're not. So that's, although I can live without captions in this meeting, that's something that we're looking to.
Yeah.
Thank you for letting me know. I don't know why. I never.
Weird. I just
It's working now.
I requested them and they popped back up. So
Okay.
I'm not.
I turn it back on. I had to go back in and enable it as if it was never enabled or had been disabled.
Interesting.
No one's touched it.
Yeah, and the text thing was me, by the way.
Letting me know.
Yep. The text size was me. Evidently, I clicked something while trying to turn on closed captions earlier. So, Robbie, good to see you too. T-Town, let me know if you're serious that you think I should get a Linktree, because I'd be curious what the input was, because I have essentially the same thing as Linktree in my bio right now. Always up for some improvement. Just curious what the difference would be for you. Let's see. So that's it for that one. And we have about 25 minutes. So, Kira, do you have anything that needs to be discussed during the general welfare meeting, broadly speaking?
Not really.
Okay. If not, what I would love for everybody else to do is help me figure out how to find out if we as a state can still accept the Medicare expansion that was offered by the federal government previously that we denied or did not accept. Um, this is now a group project because I don't know where to begin on that. But somebody asked me if we could still do it, and I figured we'll look into it. So it was the
Sure, I don't. Okay.
well,
Our official account. So Tyler is asking us, was it the Medicare or the Medicaid?
ooh, good question. Let me. Oh, where do I find? Because somebody didn't. I think somebody asked me that during like a TikTok stream, so I may have written it down incorrectly.
They said they think you told them Medicaid.
Medicaid expansion. That sounds right.
Well, Medicaid is the state program, so
Yeah. So but it was federal funds to expand.
there's often federal funding
Yep.
expansions for the state program, but Alabama specifically, I can't see it getting federal funds to expand the federal program.
Yep.
The federal program would just be expanded.
Fair enough. And that is why I have people helping that understand the nitty gritty details. Let's see. So healthinsurance.org sounds like it has some info. And again, I'm not looking at Zoom, so if somebody puts their hand up and wants to interrupt, please just let me know, Serena.
If hands go up, I will let you know.
Cool. And I know I can't share in Zoom.
We did get a link dropped in the chat though in Zoom for healthinsurance.org, Medicaid, Alabama.
I think that's what I'm looking at. Yep.
It sounds like it is.
Yeah. So key takeaways: Alabama's uninsured rate would drop by an estimated 43% if the state expanded Medicaid. That would be great. Withdrew proposed work requirement. Alabama withdrew its proposed work requirement, which would have been much stricter than other states' work requirements. And Ivy's administration abandoned Bentley's regional care organizational Medicare waiver. Okay. Oh, actually, somebody in somebody on TikTok, abortion incubator. Thank you. It was you who brought it up. Medicaid expansion is exactly what they're looking for. So we are currently, yeah, that worked out really well. We are currently trying to figure out if we can do that. So welcome to the party. Let's see. So this happened in when was that? 2021. Okay. All right. Let's see. Although the state has thus far rejected federal funding to expand, enrollment in Medicaid CHIP in Alabama has grown 23%. Nationwide enrollment has grown 41%. Let's see. So abortion is saying we should still be able to. So I guess that's an annual thing. Again, as I've mentioned plenty of times on all of my streams, I'm just pissed at the system and getting into this green. So work with me. Appreciate your patience. Other states have already recently accepted those funds. Cool. Okay. Well, if it's a question of will I, the answer is yes. If it's literally just will you accept federal funding to help expand Medicaid? The answer is yes. I didn't realize it was that easy of a question. Incubator, I didn't know it was that easy of a question. So like, I'm so sorry that I've waited 2 weeks to answer your question, not knowing that it was a simple, that I just need to put my hand out and take the money. That's a whole nother thing. So I think we can not worry about that anymore. So I'm good on general welfare at this point. I'm going to put in probably a note to myself because I don't know if it's a user story at this point, but figuring out what ramifications or like what repercussions have happened since 96 when Blue Cross was deemed not an official healthcare provider in layman's terms. So that would
be excellent. And then if we come back into this is a weekly meeting. So if we come back into next week's general welfare meeting with that as a basis, I think it'll let us know where to go from there.
Yeah.
And if we need to create user stories for research projects or get people doing things, that'll tell us what those things need to be that we need people for.
Yeah, for sure. for sure. So I have nothing else that I wanted to discuss about general welfare that I can think of. Unless Tyler, do you want to give me some other, or anybody else, some other broad things that are covered under general welfare for this meeting? I know you read them earlier, but I was honestly trying to figure other things out, so I didn't quite catch all of it. Oh, education. No, education is one. Okay, so I don't have anything specific for us to look up right now, though. Abortion mentioned coastal revitalization of salt marshes. That would be under environment, which I don't believe falls under this. I don't think so.
We do have environment and
It's
infrastructure meetings.
Yeah, that's on Saturday.
Which are also live streamed on the Twitch, and you can join us here on the Zoom. Check out Jasmine's website or United Foods website.
I've got them linked on my events and meeting pages as of today. So
there is so literally everywhere.
Yeah.
Coming to a billboard near you, our meeting schedule. But yeah, please join us for that. If you have something you want to see done or it's a big concern to you, please come in. And the more you come in ready, like more research you have that you've done, you're like, this is what I think, the better we can try and help see if we can make that happen and how to go about making that happen.
Yeah. So, and I will say one more thing before I think we just let everybody get their time back and have an extra 15 minutes in case you have something else at 7, is like the Zoom meeting that we are in, that we're streaming to the other platforms, like you can join in on those. The link is available on those websites we mentioned. So if you want to be a part of these meetings and not just listening or commenting in TikTok or YouTube, Twitch, wherever, jump in the Zoom meeting. Be respectful, but we're here and want input from as many people as possible, because we are not here, as I like to say, I'm not here to be a dictator. Like, I'm just here to help guide the state. I want our state to help represent more of our residents, not just a certain class of people that it currently represents. So I will end it with that, unless anyone else has last minute things to chime in with.
I'm seeing no one come off mute or raise their hand in here, so I think we're good.
Perfect. All right.
We do have a team building Jackbox event for those of you who are looking to do another one of these fun game nights we do here. And that's starting at 7, so this is a great time to go grab yourself a soda or a drink and go to the bathroom, get cozy, and get ready to hang out with your friends and colleagues, or call it a day and go have fun on your own time, which is now your time to do. Have a great evening, everyone.